Hello everybody, welcome to episode 2 of Con on the Road. Shout out to Wilson Lim who left me this comment in the comment section of episode 0. So he said, I had been to the Volkswagen Fest at Setia Alam and I found out that Volkswagen had given such assurance that I think their cars are getting more and more reliable. Even the technician, engineer over there had given in-depth explanation on problems of previous models and how they overcome this. Hence, will it at one point replace the typical uncle auntie thinking of Japanese car won't spoil one, buy T brand H brand lah. Will one day there will be fun to drive TSI plus DSG combo without sacrificing reliability? Just a thought as I got mindfuck deep by VW cars last week. Damn awesome and fun to drive. Okay, so Wilson, let's talk about engineering. When you engineer a car, or to be specific, when you engineer the powertrain of a car, you have to balance between performance, you have to balance between efficiency, durability of the engine, drivability of the engine, and cost. So in Volkswagen's case, when they engineer the TSI family of powertrains, first they have to look at improving the engine's efficiency, okay? But at the same time, they have to ensure that the engines continue to deliver the kind of high performance that consumers are expecting to. They also have to ensure that the engines can run on, can operate continuously on a typical ownership cycle, okay, with a 10 to 15,000 kilometer service interval. And they also have to ensure that the engine has to be built at a cost that is sustainable for mass production. Okay, so all this in place. Now, when you put all this demand, when you see all these demands, right, then you understand why Dieselgate happened, why the engineers cut corners to see that, or to just so that they can meet the emission and performance requirements. So you see, at the end of the day, right, all these various factors that I mentioned, right, everything is a trade-off. You adjust one factor, you affect everything else. Okay, so in the case of the TSI engines, Volkswagen has made, take the Jetta for example. Volkswagen is making a 1.4 liter engine perform like a 2.4 or 2.2, thereabouts lah. Okay, so when you ask a system to punch above its weight, what inevitably happens? You are adding stress to each individual component, and all this stress adds up in manifest in the form of wear and tear. Okay, so when you have this in mind, right, then you realize why a naturally aspirated engine is always more advantaged in terms of long-term reliability. Okay, so there's your answer. So long as Volkswagen attempts to push the boundaries of performance and efficiency with technology, there is always that inevitable gamble that you make in the longevity of that engine. That nothing comes for free. Something has to give. Okay, the problems that Volkswagen face, the reliability problems that Volkswagen face, are real, and they have not gone away. Okay, but having said that, at the very least, what you have as a consumer is that the company that is the brand custodian, they are not denying the problem. They are not hiding behind the problem. They acknowledge there's a problem, and they have stated, I mean, they can say lah, but they have stated that steps are being taken to remedy the issues. And like with more recent Volkswagen launches, they say that they run the cars for what? They run the cars over an extensive period on Malaysian roads just to ensure that these cars are able to handle being driven in our climate and in our kind of traffic. Okay, so at the end, right, understand this: buying a Volkswagen, okay, it's not going to be like buying a Japanese car. Okay, you have to be aware of that. You cannot expect to maintain a Volkswagen like how you maintain a Toyota. Just every 5,000, 10,000 kilometers service, pop, that's it. No, you are driving a car that is engineered to push the boundaries of performance and efficiency, and there is inevitably a price to pay for that. At the end of the day, right, Wilson, there is no car with a perfect ownership experience. No car. At the end, you have to ask yourself, first you have to ask yourself, what is it that you want in the car? Okay? And then you have to ask yourself, what is it that you are willing to give in return for that aspect of a car? Then you take the time also, speak to owners, connect with them on Facebook and forums, get their first-hand experience on what it's like to live with and own these cars. See if that is your cup of tea, and make your decision from there. I'm not going to tell you whether you should buy a Volkswagen or you should buy a Japanese car. That is entirely your decision. But what I can advise you is, think long and hard, buy what you want. That's all. And once you put your money down, have no regrets.